Hello everyone, welcome back to the railway. Today I will be discussing my customs, Annie, whoops, and Clarabel. Now these customs can also double as branch line coaches. I haven't painted their nameplates on them, but let's talk a bit about the customs first. As you can see, ERTL already has made their own versions of Annie and Clarabel. If the camera will focus, sorry. Now, the reason I chose to make newer customs is firstly, I wanted Annie and Clarabel to be in scale with the larger scale of ERTL. For example, an engine like Percy. If you put normal Annie or Clarabel next to him, it looks really off. So that was one reason they were rebuilt in this large scale. Another reason was to be way more realistic. So essentially, Annie and Clarabel are complete flat surfaces with stickers on top. Now, if you compare that to the rest of the beautifully detailed ERTL range, that stands out quite a bit. Hence, I wanted to improve the qualities of Annie and Clarabel to better fit in with the other ERTL characters. Essentially, Annie and Clarabel use, let's start from the front. They use nails for their buffers. They do not have moving wheels. However, as I've discussed before, my custom track system is very tight around the rolling stock's chassis, and hence this isn't a problem as I'm still able to drag them along in the direction I want. Obviously, there's increased friction, but that's manageable. And also, all the windows are carved out. The doorknobs are painted. Sandpaper has been used to create that little I'm not exactly sure what it is above the windows. And Milliput has been used to create a raised bump at the end where the guard would traditionally look out of. However, that's not the only vantage point the guard has on these improved models. I've also created some back windows on a Clarabel. And the other side is essentially the same. One creative liberty I took when creating these was the creation of a little baggage compartment at the end of Clarabel. If you look at her ERTL model, there's no baggage compartment or even guard section. It's just a recolor of Annie. Just a recolor of Annie. Yet another reason why I chose to remake them in more realistic form. Now, let's compare them to the Backman, Annie and Clarabel, shall we? I actually own the Hornby, Annie and Clarabel. However, I believe the Backman versions are the more show accurate and superior versions of the characters. So, if I compare Clarabel, yeah, that's another thing wrong with the Backman, Annie and Clarabel. I just said they were more realistic, but actually they share the same fault with ERTL, as in their guard compartment is, but actually they share the same fault with ERTL, as in their guard compartment is not modeled, and Clarabel is simply a repaint of Annie. Now, if I compare this to the Backman model, you will see it is way more comparable to the Backman model than the ERTL model itself. Now, another reason I use these larger scale coaches is because I am using this custom Thomas from a playset, which I'm not exactly sure what is, for the coaches. Now, if I use the normal ERTL Thomas, with these, with Annie and Clarabel, whoops, sorry, got my words muddled. If I were to use the version of Thomas I'm using with Annie and Clarabel, there would be a notable size difference. However, with these new and improved coaches, the size difference is negligible, and they both look really in place. One thing I do need to do, technically these customs are unfinished, is actually add 3D printed couplings. So they will be able to move along in one smooth consist. Also, I opted to go for a slightly darker, more Railway Series-esque style of brown, as compared to the lighter brown used in the television series. So, really, in conclusion, that's all I pretty much have to say about these models. Oh yeah, I am planning on starting a series, so if you're interested in joining that, please leave a reply in the comments and get back to me on that. Yeah. So thank you very much for watching all, and be sure to catch me in the next video. And this is it for now. Goodbye.